Welcome back to Wrestling with Ski. I'm Ski,
And I'm Justin.
and I'm just happy I was right. The people have spoken. When I say people, I mean that it was one person, but I was right. Grocery store was the best thing ever.
And a
Right?
quick recap on that. Want to apologize that we got the name wrong of the gentleman that threw beers to Stone Cold. That would be indeed Mark Yeaton. He is actually and is from Pennsylvania. He had ran Keeping Time Collectibles, and that man is my hero.
Hey, it's more wrong for you to get his name wrong because hell, guy didn't get me any signs, any signatures on a magazine or in a magazine. Like he never did nothing for me except make me smile.
Actually, technically, you're
He,
the one who Googled it.
and Google told me it 3 separate times, and you
Oh,
agreed.
Google was wrong.
Like I
Thank
looked for the guy. No,
you.
but technically, we got the guy. The timekeeper got. We got the guy that just went in. Like they gave us that guy, and not like
That's okay. We'll blame Google. Google was wrong for once, but Google didn't know which timekeeper we were looking up, so we would probably
yeah,
lose that battle
yeah.
anyway.
But and really, I've been at enough things, doing enough, like watching people do enough trivia games around the area here.
Yeah,
Google's wrong a lot, actually. Google's an idiot.
yeah.
Google's dumb, like dumb. Like I've seen some of the answers that have come out of Google going, that's not even what we said.
Yeah.
But we're allowed to be wrong. Hell, maybe you never know. The powers that be, maybe I could have enough pull to go, come tell your story. And he'll be all, sure. And I'll go, get the out of here. That would actually be my response. GTFO. And like, come on the show, sure. Excuse me? Like, that would be it too. And I'd send you the message like a schoolgirl. Like, don't call me. Why? Because I look too happy. And then I would just sit here. I wouldn't even ask my question. Like, ready, go. Like, I'm just going to watch. And then we're going to ask you questions about throwing beers like 100. Like
Ow.
how many beers did you guys explode during the day trying to master that throw?
I just want to know. Actually, my thing is, I want to know actually how many beers did he actually throw through his whole time. I wonder if he kept count.
You gotta think all the ones we saw on TV compared to like when you saw him when he was like sheriff and all that. Or I mean, he was just drinking beer nonstop after they went off
Yeah,
air. Like how many? That's a lot of beer.
he had to at least average at least 12.
I mean, like especially if you got like think about that night when he was like the referee for Brock and Goldberg. Like look at all the beers they went, and he just stunned everybody. But there was a lot of beer involved, and there was more beer after he stunned everybody. Like that man threw a lot of beers.
Yes.
But how many beers did you throw more than just the softball toss? But how many did you actually throw? And how did you figure that out?
Yeah.
Like, because that's like, and how many like, and they didn't explode in his face, which means you had to like you had the perfect toss for him to just do one of these and just
Yeah.
and have forward. Like that takes great talent to just keep just hitting him right in the hand like that. Like I followed baseball, some of them are tricky, let alone a beer can, because they're kind of big. If you've ever, I mean, that it's kind of difficult to catch if it's coming at Mach Jesus from 100 feet away.
Yeah.
So
And,
we
another quick Stone Cold fact: never went into WrestleMania as a champion. Not to keep going in,
he didn't need to.
But no, definitely not.
The story was way better. Him just going in there, just beating The Rock. I mean, no offense to The Rock, but I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he beat HBK, but I mean, HBK was leaving anyway. The Rock wasn't going anywhere, and they chose him over The Rock. Those are the bigger ones. And the story, that story was way bigger than him and HBK.
Yeah.
I think if HBK wasn't such, giant, toolbox back then, he'll even tell you that. That could have been a hell of a story between those two if his back wasn't exploded and he didn't get jumped by a bunch of Marines or God knows what in New York. Like so many catastrophic things. He didn't lose his smile. Poor guy. Lost his smile. I lost half a tooth. I didn't lose it, but like think of that could have been a hell. It was still on Stone Cold Hell. We're still bringing it up. That could have been a great story.
Yeah.
Now, did I prefer seeing like Sean coming back and having all those matches with Taker there at the end? Yes, I did. If that's how it all had to play out, where Stone Cold was already gone and Sean came back and like had those Taker matches, I have no problem with that history because those matches were probably Taker's best ever.
Oh yeah.
Like
Agreed.
him and Sean killed it.
Oh
and
yeah.
then the story.
Time they ever face each other, except for that painful tag match. But we'll not get back into that one.
But
and the one was great.
And their story that they carried, which again we didn't bring it up. Like I think we brought it up as one of the best stories. Like we brought the Brothers Destruction, Stone Cold and The Rock, but Triple H, Shawn, and Taker, what they did in 4 consecutive years at Mania.
Oh yeah, genius.
There we go. Like there we go. See, I keep moving the wrong way because I forget it's all backwards and stuff. But like inside a Hell in a Cell, it should have stopped them.
Yeah.
Like they're all at the end of the ramp, just looking off to each other. End of an era. Done. Retire. Game over. 21-0. No one would have complained if he didn't break it.
Yeah.
Like, did you see the color of your back after that was over? Like you took a whipping.
Yeah.
Like you guys were murdered. Like Hunter had a big poofy eye. Like his whole back was like,
yeah, bad.
Like you guys beat the out of each other. No one would have complained if you just left it off there. I don't know why he came back. Like he didn't, like he said, he didn't need it. Like Brock didn't need it.
No.
Like they were still fighting over it that day. I still think that shouldn't have happened, but that's a whole nother story. But Brock didn't need it. Who the hell didn't believe that Brock was just going to beat the living hell out of someone?
Yeah.
Like, do you remember SummerSlam? I'm pretty sure all he accomplished was about 30,000 German suplexes to John Cena, and he won.
Yeah.
Like, that's how WWE booked him. He didn't need to beat Taker. They could have had someone else come in there. Like, if he kept winning, they could have gave it to Bray, which he came back with after he lost. Supernatural, like passed on the thing. See you later, bye. Could have gave it to Roman. Hell, everyone still would have hated him, but at least they were trying to make him the guy. He wasn't already indestructible. Just come here, bro. Like,
yeah,
it could have been so much better.
I would have rather seen Roman take it and not Taker lose twice. That should have just been
like him losing twice. Like there was no like, what the hell is it? Like that was always my thing. I was like 21-0, 21-1. Like what the hell is the point of like he went 21-0? Okay, pass it on to Brock because who else are you going to believe could do it? Sure, I get that, but what the hell is the point of 21-0 if you're going to go and have him lose again? Like what, 2 years later?
Yep.
3 years later, whatever the hell it was. Like what was the point of that? Like you had the greatest story ever going. That's what sold WrestleMania tickets. Just ask that guy in the front row.
One of the greatest
guys made that between him and the Miz girl. Just pissed off at the world. God bless her wherever she is. We should find her and get her on the show.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? I know you got a slammy. Like, where are you? Like, that girl's my hero. But if we're on that, like, that was just, God, that was so dumb. But we'll move on. We'll get to the point of the show. Let's get on to Raw. I thought it was better than last week's.
Anything was better than last week's.
Sorry, it didn't take much. But
I
mean, it had the predictability. I mean, like, Drew in the ring. There's MVP going, I don't know what you're talking about. And you even see Drew and I'm going to come out of the ring. And then boom, he turns around, there they are. There's Mason T-Bar attacking him. Like, shocker. Like, I was sitting there going, like, this is how it's starting. Like, I wish I didn't catch my second wind. Like, because I'm normally half dead when we start this. And then I catch my second wind. And then I'm up and I'm ready to go. And that's a problem when Raw's on. I'm like, this is garbage. And like, I was like, wow, that's how it started. But that ended up him demanding the 2-on-1. It ended up way better than it probably should have. I mean, that match, like Strowman coming out. I mean, I don't know what the change was for him to not face Randy. But I mean, him coming out with Drew.
Yeah.
We all got what we wanted. I mean, Drew looked good. Mason T-Bar looked great before Strowman came out there, and they still look good afterwards because Dijakovic, whoever the hell that guy is, could go.
Yeah.
Whoever the hell that guy is, I don't know. Dijakovic was like, established. Like we all know who he was. But the other guy, I just feel bad for him in his Tommy Copper back brace. Tommy Copper, like if that's part of your gear, and you're that young and no one even knows who the hell you are, you should probably retire now.
Yeah.
Like, I know I could just be being mean, but I mean, Strowman gets his face busted open during the match by the mask. And I literally went to write something down here. So I don't even know what that, like, I can't even tell you what I was writing down. I could have been yelling at Daisy for all. I look up and there is like the bell's ringing. I'm like, what? And there's McIntyre's just
Molly whopping him.
Molly just beating the living, just beat. Oh my God, did he just, whoo, was he giving him a whooping with his mask?
Mm-hmm.
And then while Strowman followed, like I went, like what? Everyone wants them to stop being that. Like they should have stopped being that before last week ever happened. Like it was over. Retribution was done. Like
Yeah, I mean,
it
a
shouldn't
lot
have
of
came to them.
a lot of positive fan reaction of finally they got rid of the mask.
So I didn't. Yeah, like I saw memes of people finally. Like everyone was like, I didn't look, but like everyone was like, it was over like weeks ago.
Like
so why did you like wait?
Outcome or
Well,
positive.
everyone liked Dijakovic down in NXT.
Yeah.
Like everyone I knew thought like he's great in the ring. He can work. He was a good character. Like we all saw the stuff he did right before he came. Like, oh my God, before like they called him up and wasted him on that. Like it was Carrion that took him out, right?
Yeah.
And then Keith kept getting involved, like called like because he was going after his friend, telling him not to get involved. And then he would go down there, and then well, boom, it was over, and Keith got the title for 7 seconds. Yeah, like that whole transfer happened really fast. But
Yeah.
like Dijakovic was holding his own. Like he can go. Like so could Mia. Mia was a damn shame. Like why they put her in any of that at all.
Slapjack, so it's maybe they'll. I don't
Hopefully
know.
they do, but like that was a waste. But them finally getting their masks off and then finally doing something with it. I mean, I don't know why they came out last week with them on. Like Retribution was dead. Like Ali immediately, like 2 days later, had different tights on. Like everything was completely like why didn't they move on? Why'd they make them come out stupid and just get mollywopped with their masks repetitively? And Strowman was legit bleeding. Like I mean, that wasn't like he bladed. That was like he had butted the mask. And well, like I looked at him, went, like, couldn't that be made out of rubber? Well, he's probably pissed.
Yeah.
I remember what Brock did to him when he was moving a little too fast. I could just imagine what Strowman could do to somebody because he makes Brock look like a Tonka toy. He makes Brock look like one of those wrestlers that you got behind you in that giant box. The guy with the really big lats, whoever that was you were showing me yesterday. I don't remember anymore which figure that was, but the dude with the super sized lats on his side.
He's got 200+ figures.
Yeah, no, he's got a million of them. Whatever one it was yesterday, that you're all, and he had the super lats. Like that's pretty much Braun Strowman compared to like, and then you're like Brock Lesnar. Just, get over here. Well, like, except Brock Lesnar can kill people, but that was a good one. Like, and again, everyone looked good.
Yeah.
They can drag it out for a little bit, and maybe if Drew loses, they can have them do something and like get involved in like because you could believe like Drew and Strowman. Like if you put them together after everything that Drew did say about him before, in the go home, I believe it was episode of Raw before.
Yeah.
I think it was the one before, but whatever. When he said that he should be a 5-time champion, like all that stuff, like because if they keep it on Bobby and Drew loses, I mean, you can't believe anyone beating Amos, who you didn't even see this week. We didn't see AJ and Amos, unless I missed something.
No, didn't see that.
Strowman, like you could believe Strowman getting up in Amos's face and at least having a chance.
Yeah.
Like, and Drew. Like, so that gives it like, unlike the women's titles, that at least gives some kind of real competition. You could put them together and they can make some kind of big like thing to like that they can work with the whole roster. Unlike, even though I think Amos and AJ should stay a team, but I think that turned out where they have their masks on. Those two can actually work together and make something that you'd believe as a tag team. And I think they could do something with it.
Yeah.
To me.
Speaking of, no, I got you, buddy. But speaking of tag teams, how about them Viking Raiders?
I'm happy to see them back.
But is it a good thing that they keep beating Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander?
Yeah, that's what I would like, because they are like they were just tag team champions, and now you're having them just get run over. Like not even like good matches, like we're having Shelton and them already in the ring.
Yeah.
The Raiders come out and the match is over before we get to a commercial break.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how good Shelton and them look. If they're getting beat in like 3 minutes, doesn't matter how good you look. Doing it, you're getting beat in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Very match. Yeah.
they can have them look better. Like, they can give them an extra segment. Like, we could have not had Charlotte talk. Boom. They could have had an extra segment. Because guess what? She didn't need to be there. We'll get into that. The one thing I really picked up from that match, though, besides how awesome it was, just to see the Raiders back. I mean, because their stuff, no matter how ridiculous it got with the ninja and all that crazy stuff with the Street Profits, like, they still, like, them and the Profits put on some of the best, like, entertaining stuff. And they put on good matches in the ring. Like, it's a very rare thing when they put on good things in the ring. Outside the ring, and we're getting ninjas, like we're getting Amos in a ninja suit. Funny, small world. A ninja, and like, they made it all good. Like, because when you're pulling out ninjas and all that stuff, that could go very, very bad, very, very fast. So I like to see them back, but again, like, just having them roll over people, like they're back, but they were just tag team champions. You're having them roll them. So now if you don't have the Raiders roll somebody, like, I mean, Ziggler and Rude and all them are having better matches on Smack. Even the women are having better matches in that, like, in the women's division, than the Raiders are putting Shelton and Cedric through. Like, I don't get that part, but I did enjoy the guy. If you watched, I don't know if you watched it or not. If you were paying that close attention, your eyes weren't bleeding. But the guy, as they showed the crowd in the Fiend mask on the screen in the Thunderdome, just in the Fiend mask, like, well, we're not going to see him again tonight.
No, like, I think they're really save Fiend now as an attraction, like it should be, not all the time. And I think with the whole Bray being reborn thing, I really think they're going to tread lightly on utilizing him as the Fiend. I mean, you can Bray as Bray in the sweater and come out and lose, but from here on out,
the Fiend doesn't need to lose.
No,
ever. The Fiend shouldn't lose to one simple. How the hell does he no sell RKO's getting spiked into the table? They have to stop Hell in a Cell matches because he keeps getting up no matter how many times he gets hits with things.
Yeah.
And he gets put down, like, in the same matches. He draping DDT, popped right back up. Bounced off the table, popped right back up. One RKO put him down. One.
Yeah.
Like, you just made him look like the weakest of all time.
Yeah.
Like, he was reincarnated. He got taken out by one RKO. Maybe that's what they needed to do the whole, like, to get her doing her thing and him doing his thing.
Yeah. And I can understand that. And it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, but I mean, Alexa has been killing it.
Oh, she has, but it also goes,
great, like using the whole childhood.
But it also, but the problem though, before we get to that though, like, look how strong they built him. The Fiend.
I know.
Oh no, we're not even talking Mania. This is like last year.
Where you're going with it.
And he got smoked by Goldberg in like 45 seconds.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb.
We built him, Goldberg. Like, what the hell did Goldberg like?
Yeah. Imagine if Roman Reigns. Imagine if Roman Reigns, could have said, "Hey, by the way, I'm definitely not showing up for WrestleMania," like 3 weeks earlier.
Would have been not like the COVID thing. They weren't having the conversations.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm saying they were. You had to know, like, the way the world was going in March, they were having the conversations.
Like, why? Like, why couldn't you just make the decision sooner? I mean,
why have to make the Fiend, who's unstoppable, get put down by Goldberg like it was nothing in like a minute, if that.
Yeah.
And then what's to have set up for Roman to put down Goldberg in like a minute and a half?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell would have that done for the Fiend character at all anyway?
Or what they could have
Buster, get out of the way of the light. I just got really, really dark. Thank you.
But
I even noticed.
I think what they could have done is, if they would have known that Roman was not going to be a part of that event, let
He should have
Fiend
let him know too.
let Fiend go on to face somebody, and if somebody was going to beat the Fiend, have the Bray Wyatt reincarnation of the Swamp Bray Wyatt and lose it
Which was
at,
amazing, by the way.
at the Swamp compound. That would
Yeah.
have been more believable.
Like they could have done.
And my power's going low.
Well, plug it in. Plug it in, weirdo. God, what kind of loser are you? We're only like 8 seconds into this. God. Jesus. But yeah, that would have made more sense. I just like, and I love, again, I'm not picking like, but that then Mania, like, it got them to finally split, but to have him no sell everything that is literally like put people out, and then one RKO puts him down like 30 seconds later. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
they-
sorry,
On something more than
could have
just
got him mollywopped like a son of a, like, punt him, like he turns around the RKO, boom, punch him when he's still confused. We would have believed it. Okay.
Yeah.
We'd have believed it more than the lights went out on Ric Flair when he got, punted. Like, yeah, lights went out. Why? They don't even trust Flair nowadays to take that and make it look good.
Yeah.
Why? 'Cause Drew took them and they took those camera angles terribly. But Alexa, what? I threw that bitch off her swing and I stole that ice cream. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah. Like, I love that.
Something that reminds you of an era that we all hold near and dear.
I threw that bitch off of her swing and I took that ice cream. Like, that's what I'm talking about, Alexa.
Like strawberry ice cream, she still did it. Just nailed it.
See, after all that feed, it's look at it, both of us grinning, like,
yes,
like, nah, you stupid.
Come out with a Funko Pop of Lily or the stuffed doll, because I would buy it and I would put it with my collection just because it's Alexa Bliss.
And you would buy me one? Probably not, because they'd sell out before you could even buy one. But let alone two. Like, I saw the last set of, you don't buy Schamburgers, you buy other things. Like, I don't even remember who Schamburger was, on a completely like off topic really fast, like his around Funko Pops. Schamburger, the paintings, all that, like 50 prints signed, like through WWE auction. Someone bought them all 50 in one shot. So no one got any. I'd like to find that guy. I'm going to leave that sentence there. But I'm sure there's people that do that with the Funkos, but there needs to be them. Like, they made her look different than she has the whole entire time. Like, I mean, she still had the eyes, but the hair looked different. Lily was there. I mean, like, they keep adding to it. And, Bray is still involved in it.
Yeah.
It was still his baby. I mean, no matter what, it's still his.
Yeah.
And he, like, because he did so good. I mean, she is having more fun. She's very many times stated that she trusts him and that they're having, like, just, this is so killer for both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I enjoyed, like, I stole that bitch's ice cream. Excuse me. Like, there I was looking up going, did you hear that correctly? Are we on WWE programming?
Without censoring it? Now, I'm sure Peacock will now censor it once you get to go back and watch it. But
because you could talk about people getting raped all the time on NBC on Special Victims Unit, but heaven forbid you say I kicked that bitch off her swing and I stole that ice cream. Heaven forbid we hear any of that, because that's mean and offensive. But that was like, I was so bummed that it took so long to get there, because I'm not going to lie, I was recording it and I was like, what, tonight? I'm like, oh, but I want to go to bed. And then by the time they're like, coming up next, it was like, like, even if I want to go to bed, my meds aren't kicked in yet. Why? Like, I fell on the knee. I looked like Tim Robbins at the end of the Shawshank Redemption, except it wasn't like freedom. It was like, I could be sleeping. Like, but I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed like that, and I liked the story they did with it. And I think when they get like done with that, I think that's going to be a really good thing. I think whatever Bray comes out with his whole thing. And again, what did I say? I called it yesterday. I've called it the whole time I talked to you. There was Randy. The Fiend is dead. He's never coming back. It's over as long as I'm here. So guess what? I have an odd feeling by the time. Well, never mind. He's hurt now, isn't he?
Yeah, I heard about the possibility of a shoulder
He
injury.
looked hurt the whole match, but
Yeah.
those words were coming from Meltzer. The report you shared, same thing, saved, shared, whatever. It's coming from Meltzer. So
Unless they're using it as a storyline because he was supposed to be taking time off. So
oh yeah, say he's his shoulder hurts, and then like, but the Fiend comes out and just and puts him down, and then they could build it up later again,
yeah,
because Randy
like
has been there. Like,
love to see another swamp compound match. I think it'd be good with rehash that match that they had at the compound, but not like swamp involved kind of
no,
stuff. Like
no,
bring it back to the area where he lit
no,
the house on
no,
fire. And it there. Why not?
no.
Full
That
circle.
was the single dumbest match of all time that entire year. That whole year. Like, they start there, they do all that. They get in cars and drive away, and suddenly there they are. And like, that was stupid. Like, the swamp match made sense. The Firefly Funhouse match with Cena made sense. Him getting lit on fire made sense. That match where they're here, they're there, they get in cars, they drive away down smoky roads, and suddenly they're there, and the Fiend, like, stupid.
I don't know.
That was the one dud to me, and all this. Like, so they did that, and then they went there, and then it was kind of like this guy with that whole match against Cameron Grimes with like zombie referees, and he like, I'm gonna run all the way back. Like, that was just stupid. Like, I hate Cameron Grimes, which didn't help.
They need to do something full circle though, and
But
not just
they do, but
a match.
don't go back to the House of Horrors match or whatever the hell they go. Please, God, don't go back to the swamp. The Strowman swamp match worked so well, and that's still technically at the Wyatt compound. Yep, it's the swamp there, which is how Braun knew his way back there. The whole story of that. Like, I'm okay if they go back to the swamp. Like, I'm really okay if they do like that again.
Yeah.
Because the Strowman match in the swamp, like, we got to see all the different, like, Brays. We got to see Alexa do like the Sister Abigail, like, come with me, Braun. And they're freaking out. We got to see the Freddy versus Jason where he dives out of the water and we got to see all of everything. Like, that was brilliantly put together compared to, in my opinion, compared to the first one. Like, that House of Horrors thing was just dumb.
Well, I mean, not necessarily House of Horrors, but
bring it back to the compound.
Yeah, bring it back to the compound, but have that, that part of the building that Randy burnt, like involved in that. Let it end there. I mean, and it's part of the compound, really. So
is my hand glowing in the dark to you?
Sort of.
Just making sure it's not me. I'm okay with that. Like, if they are, like, if they have the match somehow happen there for taking out Sister Abigail, he burnt her, like, all that, yes. But please, God, don't have another one. Like, that first one was just.
I wasn't referencing the House.
I know. I'm just saying. That first one was dumb. Don't do that again.
Agreed. Definitely agreed.
That Firefly Funhouse, the Firefly Inferno.
Yeah.
Hell, even WrestleMania, as dumb as the ending was, still made more sense than that first one. I was like, you gave him the title and this? Like, this is what you gave him? Like, this is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when WWE was doing everything the same. They weren't even thinking out. That was the only outside the box thing they did. And everyone was still mad about it because it was just stupid. And then suddenly Bray went away. And look what we got from that. Thank you, right. Jesus. Well, I think he had to get finally deleted. But Matt Hardy, which was still him and Matt together, was like, I'm glad he got to do a final deletion or whatever they called it in WWE. I was glad they got to do one of those because that was great.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Vince let that on programming.
And that one shirt, the Leaders of Worlds, was pretty cool.
That was amazing. Like, the two of them together, like,
oh yeah.
If only that could have lasted, but I mean, are we surprised it didn't last?
No.
Like, personally, I wasn't surprised it didn't last. I was surprised they even let it go that far. Like, Vince had to look at all that stuff and go, what the? Like, when they're doing all that stuff, what the? Well, it's more creative than all the stuff you've come up with combined, Vince.
Yeah.
It might make you go, what the is this?
The people like it.
Again, I could watch only the pre-shows after missing weeks on end, and I could tell you everything that was going to happen. Matt Hardy's coming out with like drones and Senior Benjamin, and Jeff's coming out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
we have dilapidated boats and all kinds of stuff. Like it was just like, what in the hell is he on? And I like it. So it was great. Like,
Yeah.
and then the rest, and again, as we're talking about Orton, him and Riddle's match was great.
Yeah, that one was on point. Everything.
Like, and I see so many people dumping all over Riddle. Yes, bro. Like, the character might irritate the hell out of you, but I don't get how people don't like his work in the ring. Like Matt Riddle in the ring.
Oh yeah.
Like, and if you don't like it, isn't there Evolve stuff? Like, it was on the network. I don't know if it's on Peacock yet, but like all the stuff he was doing with Keith Lee back.
Yeah.
With like those two were tearing the house down. Like the guy does, like you can hate the character. Guess what? The first time I saw him at TakeOver, like here's Matt Riddle debuting. Nope. And then I turned off TakeOver and I didn't watch it anymore.
Yeah.
No. Like I get that. But then I watched NXT and I was like years later, back then, like trust me, my personal life, and to be proud of at that point, it was kind of really bad. I was like, hope what my life already sucks enough. Goodbye. And like, but I see him in the ring, like, look at the match he had with Sheamus. Like he wasn't even supposed to be like in that position if Keith Lee didn't, whatever happened to Keith. I don't know. I've seen so many different stories. Whatever the hell happened to him to keep him off TV, it wasn't even supposed to be a real spot. And look at the matches he put on.
He's still working on returning. I can't wait.
Like, look at the matches he put on though. Like,
oh yeah,
doing all like the matches he put on with him, the match he put on with AJ on his first night. Like, Riddle's good in the ring. I don't care what you think about what you can hate the character. What I will bash on people's characters all the time, but I will give them credit if they deserve it for in ring.
I don't mind his character. It just depends on the situation. Like last night, RK Bro, that's a pretty legit idea. I liked it.
You know, like I mean, again, him and like Asuka. I forgot where I was going with that. Like, yes, why? I've been there. I get it. Thank you. I still hate you, but yes. Like he has some good, and the match that he had last night with Randy, I mean, you could literally see welts and finger marks on Randy. I mean, Randy's chest was murdered. Him and Sheamus beat the hell out of it. Like, I don't get how people don't like him in the ring, and I get the persona outside of the ring, but like, it could be horrifically irritating, bro. In his scooter with his slides, never shutting up. Like, I get it. Some people say I like to never shut up. But like his matches, like that's one thing I will get offended about if people like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get you. I still talk to you all the time.
Speaking of Sheamus, though, so we have our own version of the Open Challenge again.
I didn't like how they got to it though with like, Adam Pearce. So what, you're trying to like goat me into it. Well, he just did. So why even go there?
Yeah.
Just have him go out there and say he's better than everyone. Just do what he did to Humberto Carrillo. Just beat the living hell out of him.
Yeah. And then
like we didn't have to have the whole, so you're trying to goat me into it, make me look bad, fella. Like, just have him do it. Like, we would believe Sheamus going out to come get me, bro, and just kicking everyone's head off.
You did call it, and I do agree. Maybe this is a run for Sheamus just to beat the crap out of anyone that comes across the challenge and then find an opponent. And I'm thinking
such young talent in the locker room that's doing nothing.
Yeah, and maybe they're building Sheamus for when Keith Lee may come back.
Because we all know how they were getting along.
Oh yeah.
Like so he could do this for like I say give it a solid 2 months. Because I mean that'll give people like the Ricochets, even Cedric and Shelton now, because of what they're doing, jobbing them out. Like Humberto, like to actually have a real match, even though he was jacked compared to the last time we saw him, had like the beard, like good for him. Like, but he can work with people for like 2 months and then enter one after like not this next pay-per-view, but the next one. Because I think we need more than another 4 weeks to build it up for Keith to come back. So you believe it. Just have him literally rip through everyone on the roster that's not doing anything. And then boom. I can't tell you even Keith's music anymore. It's not the same. It hurts my feelings. Like I didn't even realize it while you were down here. We were watching Raw and you're all, that's not his song. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, he did do a new one where he actually raps his
Oh,
themes.
I know, but nothing's gonna beat that.
I've heard it, but nothing beats the original. But again, CFO.
See, I was completely out of it. Like I completely missed that. You're like that's not a song. Like, wasn't
And
it?
boy, were
Here,
people
pissed. Let me rewind. Like, oh damn, you were right. But touche, Justin. I was what? I didn't even notice. Thank God I didn't notice. Well, way to go and ruin my night. But I think that would be perfect. Then we just have to give him like I think pulling him back in the next like month. I think that'll be too soon. Even the next 2 months, because that gives him like 2 months just beating the tar out of everyone.
2 months.
That gives him, that gives him a solid to just wipe out everyone on the roster. You go, where the hell did he come from? Where'd he come from? Boom.
Yep.
And there's suddenly Keith Lee like, hi. And he runs through him and he gets the title. Yeah. And they can carry on where they were at before whatever happened. I don't know. I've seen so many conflicting stories. I mean,
yeah,
whatever happened, but they could build that into something really, really, really good if they don't screw it up. And I hope Sheamus because Sheamus and Cesaro alike have deserved more than tag team runs. And that's all they've been getting for years. Like they're two of the most talented people on the roster. They have been two of the most talented people on the roster. And really, personally, I think Cesaro should have got a title run of some sort before Sheamus. Because, I mean, Sheamus has had world title runs and Sheamus has done all that. Cesaro's been like United States champion like once. I mean, I could be off on my numbers, but really, he's just won a lot of tag titles with a lot of different people. Yeah. I think he should have had it just to build him up more because we all know what Sheamus can do. He's had the opportunities. But either way, I think it's going to work out really, 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 really good. Like, spectacularly good. Like, that could lead to some really just epic matches and encounters. And especially if they give him as much time because he only had like 8 seconds and he just mauled the guy. But if Charlotte's now officially gone, that frees up an extra 20 minutes of our lives every night just with her with the microphone. So they can actually have good matches because she's gone. Because I don't know why they brought her back. Like they wasted how much time showing the replay, having her run her suck. Out comes Asuka. She called her a bitch. She did it terribly, with her accent. It was god awful, but we all picked up what she was saying. And Charlotte does the heel well, but okay, Maria. They had their match, like all of that. There was no point because she was going off to record the thing. Like they did not have to bring her back at all. They could have just left her off TV for 2 weeks. That could have meant more. Shelton and Cedric could have meant more instead of just getting run over. And Charlotte didn't need the spotlight if she's going away to make a movie, which means she'll be gone for months anyway. So what the hell was the last 2 weeks except for just, well, Charlotte, we got to put her on TV. Like, no.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Yeah. No, you don't. Like we wasted 2 segments on it. And that last match went at least 2 segments all on its own. So we wasted 3 segments just on Charlotte for nothing. And that's just this week. That doesn't include last week where, she had her moment and then she broke up the main event, which really wasted, those 6 segments that you'll never get back that could have been spent on people that are actually going to be there for the next 2 or 3 months that could have had the time. Like she's a 17,000 time champion.
Yeah, let it go. Like seriously.
Let her go away into the distance, and then boom, suddenly she's back, and everyone's going like, "What the hell?" No one will see it coming. Now we're all like, "Oh, look, yeah, she's going to make a movie." That's why, like, the referee's taking better bumps than half the roster right now. Like the referee's taking more bumps than like Ricochet, who's actually talented. Yay! Why just to get rid of Charlotte when you didn't have to bring her back? Like we're suspending her, definitely giving her $100,000 fine. It's like, no, you're not. She's going to do a Walking Tall reboot. Like, we all know it already. What? Like everyone's been talking about. Why bring her back and do the fake suspension and the fake money? And then there's still people on the internet that are, well, that's what she gets. No, like I know it's still real. It's still very much real. The whoopings they take is very much real. Ask Tyson Kidd. Like your life is screwed afterwards. Some of these things, but like you didn't need to bring her back. We all knew she was going, and it built nothing. It just pissed people off and squandered really good talent on the roster that's doing nothing. That you're paying to do nothing. just to give Charlotte more spotlight. I'm sorry. I love her to death. She's the best heel they got going. She's great on the mic. She can go in the ring. She can do it all. But she did not need to be out
No.
there at all in that
But
situation.
yeah,
And what are they gonna do? Like build like Rhea, like doing what she did, like they're pulling her arms off on the figure eight, like so she's like afraid of her. But we're not gonna like that means the next pay-per-view is wasted. In fact, the next 2 or 3 pay-per-views are wasted because we all know Rhea's gonna win. So
yeah,
that Charlotte can come back and get hers. Like, why not have like it's just
I know.
unfathomably stupid how much they just ruined the next couple months because no matter what, they just set it up that Rhea's gonna retain no matter what. So her and Charlotte can go at it again, probably around SummerSlam or something.
Yeah,
Because making a Walking Tall movie, they need about 10 minutes to make that. No offense to the Walking Tall movie. I thought The Rock did a great job while he was out there busting your taillights out. Like I was okay with it, but like that literally, like them doing that
yeah,
took a lot of time and wasted. Oh, I wish I could get that thing. But it wasted it. Like that was my big problem with it. I liked everything they did. I have no problem with it. It tells stories, but it doesn't do anything if she's going to be gone for a couple months because that literally just wasted all women's title like stories. We all know what's going to happen now. Like they can't blow it.
yeah.
Where they going to have her lose to Asuka and then Charlotte comes back and costs her at a rematch, and then like Charlotte still isn't in the title picture, which isn't what they're going for. Obviously,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have had her go after Asuka too. Like it's just. Or set up for a triple threat at SummerSlam and then have her win, which no one wants to see. Like
No.
it just ruined.
No.
It just ruined the next 5 months of programming to me in my very extremely humble position.
But speaking of programs, Lana and Naomi over Baszler and Nia, looks like we might get what we thought was going to happen as far as a Nia and Baszler 101 program because
what you thought. I mean, I knew it was coming, but you called it a month early.
Yeah.
Just like you called Charlotte coming a month, like you called that a day early.
I think they're doing it not just because of that, but if you've got other women tag teams, make the titles work. I mean, not saying that
make them not even that, make them worth something.
Yeah, like not taking away from Lana and Naomi and Natty and Tamina,
and Mandy and Dana, even because we all know
like
Dana's talented. We've all seen like she's very they're all gifted in their own ways.
And that's the thing, you really don't need to make any kind of story with these women tag teams. Just let them duke it out, few title changes, just make it good wrestling. It doesn't really need a story.
For me, and again, I hate to sound like Bruce Pritchard, unless it's brother love, but if my face gets that red, call 911. Because that means I'm dying. But how he didn't like title changes happening all the time, like the tag team titles in the Attitude Era.
Oh my God, left and right.
I'm saying, but guess what? That meant when Too Cool was involved, we all believed it. The Hardys were involved, the Dudleys, the APA, Kai and Tai. Like it just kept going, and like Edge and Christian. I can't believe I made it to 6 before I mentioned Edge and Christian. Like it just kept going, and you believed everyone had a fair shot, and they all put on great matches when they did it.
Yeah, and it really wasn't like any specific program either.
It wasn't. Like it just kept, it
brings me back to character
development.
I can't
that got everybody in there, got everyone to have good matches. Yep. They all had good matches. They all were out there doing their thing. So everyone got spotlight every week and got to keep rotating it. So everyone kept getting something. It wasn't just where the hell have they been for the last 6 months?
Yeah, and everybody clicked because they did it so much. Now it was a lot of repetitiveness, but it was different tag teams going against each other, and they built that chemistry to make the match
ridiculous
without having to tell the story.
And that's why that's why no matter who they put it on, it worked.
Yep.
Like I hate them changing titles every 3 seconds, but it worked. And with how many tag teams they had then, it really worked because everybody they're a 2-time champion. They're a 3-time champion. They're a 2-time champion. They're just champion last week. And everyone just got to keep getting a piece of the pie and got to keep going. And they got to build characters, but again, like you said,
never
any legitimate story.
Yeah, never a dull match either.
Except for the TLC matches. Like there was tables and ladders and chairs. Oh my. Like they built stories behind like, all of those, like the original, the Terry Invitational.
Yep, I remember.
AKA Tit, for those paying attention. Terry Invitational Tournament. Like I'll get back into that. But like that ladder match.
Yeah.
Where they got a standing O. That was just Edge, Christian, and the Hardys. Standing O. Like the first TLC. Like that was magic. And it got all, did it get too dangerous by the end with, like Moron dangling from the belt and Edge spearing him from 15 feet in the air?
That was like a 30-foot ladder.
It was a 1,000,000 foot. It might as well have been 1,000 feet with how far he was falling. Just please God land flat. Crunch.
Yeah.
There's Edge. I was seeing stars. I don't even want to know what Jeff felt. Why? Because you guys were trying to kill each other, but they were such that was the one big story. Otherwise, everyone just kept coming and going and besides those big matches they were SummerSlam, Mania, and another Mania, I think.
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah. TLC was both of them were at Mania, I believe.
And there was 3 of them. So one of them was at SummerSlam, I believe. I think they had one. But minus that, where was any really big, crazy, drawn out story with it? But everyone's just coming in, claiming their stake, and you believed it all. And we got to see,
because you had believable characters.
Yeah. Scotty danced terribly. No offense to Scotty. God rest Grandmaster. Rikishi doing his thing, the APA.
Yep.
The only people that really didn't get a shot was the Public Enemy.
Well, they're a bunch of wusses anyway.
Because, if we're going to talk about tag teams, there was the one that didn't get a claim in anything because Bradshaw made sure they left rapidly. That wasn't a match. That was a mugging. And they'll admit that. Oh, we beat the hell out of him. What did we do? We tried to kill him. Well, that's good. But the Hardys, they took a beating. They appreciate Public Enemy. Well, you gave them one beating. There was no they took a beating. That was just us. That was felonious assault.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, go on YouTube. See that was just one way, just murder. I shouldn't say murder in today's day and age.
Yeah, don't say that.
An ass whooping? A slobber knocker.
There you go.
No, I don't have the accent to call it a slobber knocker or the hat. I have a hat. I don't have barbecue sauce though, so. But they got mauled. There we go. They got mauled.
Yeah.
Everyone else had a good part in it though, so they could do that with the women right now. I'm tired of them doing the Dana and Mandy with ooh, she slipped this. That's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's really that's stupid. They could have all of them. There's a bunch of them. They just threw together. I still think they should have kept the Iconics because then there would be a legitimate at least team.
Yeah.
Even though Billy Kay sucked. But they could do something like that, and they could make it amicable? That's the word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good word. They could make it work if they don't even have to put forward that much effort. Just let them go out there. Just give them 20 minutes a night to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Don't give them the 3-minute match that we saw last night with the Viking Raiders.
Just have them go out and wrestle, not this whole Lana and Naomi hugging all the time and kicking
and sliding down the thing and everyone happy and look at the Titantron and look at this and look at this. Let them go out there and actually do their job.
Just go out and wrestle.
Just go out. What are you?
Wrestler, you tell good stories without having to rely on other characteristics of your attire or your character. Go wrestle.
Look who I'm wearing right now. The man hosted an event without saying a word. He has more character than the whole women's division combined, and he's never done as much as blinked. He's just with his mustache, which I might add is a fine mustache. But I've always hated that for years now. Bailey and Sasha, at least they had something.
Yeah.
There's but they were established. Bailey was a champion. Sasha was a multiple-time champion across all the brands, NXT, Raw, all the they had something, but they've never done any. That was my big problem with Charlotte always being in the main event. Charlotte was always there. Look how many years. Look how many years Becky was put down before she was the man, and Bailey was put down. Those two were always in there.
Yeah.
And then Becky got pregnant. And Charlotte kept, like she got hurt and had cosmetic stuff, and there was Bailey and Sasha, and no one else in the whole division had anything because those like
Yeah,
four were the
they
roster for so many
yep,
years.
they carried it. Yeah.
Like they hurt. That was my big problem. They hurt themselves by having them and that's why I hate Charlotte to death. Like I've said it before, she's one of the best in the ring. She can carry it on the mic, but why the hell does she have to be in everything? Because look how bad it got when her and Becky were gone.
Yeah.
Like Asuka, she's probably next best talent that they had. Charlotte was barely ever around because she had to get her shoulder fixed. Like that's why they wrote her out in some obviously some cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
But they didn't do anything to like your favorite thing is character development. They did nothing except for Mella, and they barely and she they did all this big deal for her big comeback. She had 2 title matches, and what the hell has she done in the last 6 months since then?
Match in the last minute at the last minute. That's what.
Like she had her 2 title matches, and then she was gone. She just fought with Reginald. God, I was so happy I didn't have to see him. Hopefully they fired him. Did they fire him? Was he on the list? I didn't see him on the list.
I don't know. Why don't they just get rid of him and bring Joe back? But anyways.
Hashtag fire Reginald. Hell, bring back the guy with no neck. What was his name?
Oh, you mean no chin?
No chin, no neck, no Ellsworth. Bring back Ellsworth.
Yeah.
Bring him back over Reginald. Damn it. At least I didn't want to God, at least Ellsworth had something. Like you wanted to see him get hit. Like he could, Reginald's just go away.
Yeah.
Like, especially because he's acting with Nia, which probably killed him more than he can get run over. Nia's acting killed him way more than getting hit by a truck ever could. Trust me. I've been hit by one.
So that leaves us with the last 2 items on the Raw docket. Damian defeated Miz. He got the win. I'm glad. They need they need to keep building Damian, even if Lee doesn't through in the next couple months. I think Priest could be a good United States champion as well.
Excuse me, hold on.
Hey, hold
on. Let me clear out my ears really good.
I wasn't knocking his wrestling, okay? Just couldn't get invested in character right away.
We got 3 sentences into it, and you're, ooh, I'm so scared. Ooh, can we talk about something else? Like that was your conversation about him. What did I say? But he's different. His style is different. He can go. He can go.
Yeah.
I don't know why Miz had to be the first one to beat him when he was half naked with the referee, counting, and you could see but I mean, if they dragged that out, obviously, I mean, Miz got one, he got this one. I don't think it could hurt Priest at all.
No.
Because Miz, I mean, as much as we hate him.
Yeah. I think
go.
WrestleMania Backlash, Damian gets the last win and then move on.
Yeah, he'll get over the Miz is. I think the Miz is still there. He loves to do what's best for business. He doesn't care. He's getting paid anyway.
Quick note on Damian Priest. He actually taught Bad Bunny how to do the Canadian Destroyer that he did to Morrison. So,
which was glorious, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I love that, that whole thing that they showed them, that whole promo of those 2 together. Yeah. He was I mean, it was directly after. I mean, they were still disheveled and sweating their nuts off. It was, again, he put on, Priest said in Spanish or, he put in the work. He really, you could tell, no matter how good Morrison is, he could not have done that if Bad Bunny wasn't in there. Yeah. Taking care of all those rumors that everyone talked about since the Rumble.
For Morrison to trust
him to do it without killing him.
Yeah.
He's all, what? I know I could do it. What? Morrison's all, what? You could kill me. But
yeah,
that means he was there and he saw how much he was working, which, granted, I mean, would it have been different if he was able to go on tour? Sure. But I mean, with COVID, he did Saturday Night Live, he did the Grammys, he did all that, but all the rumors since early January was he was at the PC.
Yeah.
Since the first time we saw him, no, really, he's been there, doing the damn thing. He put in 4 months of work to do it, and he didn't have to do much, but he,
Yeah.
He learned how to take bumps. He learned, the crossbodies, clotheslines,
Yeah.
the Canadian destroyer, like out of nowhere. Like, let's see Otis do that. Come on, Otis. But please, God, don't. But like, he put in the work, and
Yeah.
like, he actually, like, it was good to see that and see them directly after, because, they normally see, like, it was all, they all the superstars, like, ooh, WWE.com exclusive. Like, it's all scripted, but like that, like,
Yeah.
that was all, what, here, go, what, say your piece and move on. He just had that feeling to it. And because Priest just stood there, and thank God he wasn't in purple this week.
Yeah.
I didn't have to think about Barney anymore. I know. Why do you have to go to Barney? I don't know. Why do you have to wear shiny purple? He goes from all black to purple. I don't know. It threw me off, but he did a good job, and
Yeah.
I think he'll be back
Yeah.
at some point. Like,
I'm pretty sure.
no way in hell. Like, he did that, and he's not coming back.
Slam's coming up. From what I hear, it's going to be another live event. So
Yeah, I've heard rumors
yeah.
and innuendo. If they pick, I mean, if there's very few states they could pull it off in, just because of like restrictions and stuff. But if they could pull it off at some level, just because it's SummerSlam, like the rest of them, they'll keep them away from people.
I mean, you have a decent amount of states that are being a little
doing
bit more
stuff.
Yeah.
But especially as they're all in Florida, I'm sure they could.
Yeah.
There's gotta be something.
Use it to your advantage. If you got to have everything in Florida, so be it. But at least people have the opportunity to be in a live crowd again.
Yeah, people have a chance to go there and do it. You can make money. Your guys can get a giant charge and get to do what? Like, that's why, like, they're not in the business because they like to get mollywopped.
Yeah.
It's the crowd reaction. It's the storytelling. It's all of that, like, which is what all the greats always say. Like Eddie, look how many people have said, Eddie, what? I'm not planning nothing. What we're going to, like, and they called it in the ring as to what the fans were doing. Like, that is what the whole thing is about. And even if it's only a few people, people will travel to get to Florida to go see it live.
Oh yeah.
Never know. Jason, you and me can go live on a Sunday. We could be there. You're like, well, you're coming. I'm like, how? I don't know. I maxed out my credit card. You're gonna be there. And that's how the conversation will end. Like, meet me there. Where? SummerSlam. Except I can't Vince voice it because my voice is gone today because Daisy, she likes to lay underneath the deck now. She dug such a big hole.
Nice.
But all around, as we just went that long on Raw, like, it was way better the week before. Like,
Elias defeated Kofi. That was kind of
that was
going to be a back and forth thing for a while. Just to, I don't know, not
time.
That, yeah,
it's just to fill space, which is a shame for Kofi.
Yeah,
hell, it's a shame for all of them because Kofi, talented, Xavier.
Yeah.
Since he's actually got titles, like we saw him with AJ, like, he actually can wrestle. He never got to for the longest time. He just played Francesca. I mean, that's all he was good. But he's talented. Elias is actually really talented.
Played the bass.
I was happy.
Yeah,
I was happy when he pulled out the bass. Look what, man after my own heart. My bass looks better though. My bass is prettier. It's not all stupid looking, but. I mean, I hate it, but I mean, at least it gives Elias
something,
and Riker, like, it gives all of them like a reason to be on TV.
Yeah,
like, it just gives them, because I'd hate to see, like, never mind like the New Day at all, even when there wasn't a New Day. Like, I was really bummed to see how little Kofi got used, and then suddenly he did the Randy Orton thing when he destroyed his NASCAR race car and all through orange paint, all that. And then after that feud, he was gone again, like nowhere. Like, he's talented. Like, find a way to, like, look how many people you had like being used in the Attitude Era that were like for no point other than they could. People were out there just beating the hell out of us. Like, how hard is it? Like if Vince Russo can pull it off by himself, like coming up with all this stupid stuff, and he's retarded.
Fact.
When everyone tries to argue he isn't, Geritol on a pole match. Buff Bagwell, Judy Bagwell, that's her name. His mom, Judy Bagwell. Pretty sure she was on a forklift. The Brawl for All. Like, if he could come up with stuff for everybody, then with those great ideas coming out of his mind,
Yeah.
What the hell is everyone's excuse now? Like for just having like 60 plus people just sitting there going, like, and then you saw like, here's all of our behind the scenes pictures from WrestleMania. You're like, they weren't on the card. They weren't on the card. They weren't on the card. They were on the card. They weren't on the card. They were on the card. They were. Hey, like you have like
Or that
100 plus pictures. There's like 8 people you took pictures of that actually had anything to do with Mania. Otherwise, we're going, you still have a job.
Yeah, that guy's still here.
Where the hell did you come from? I forgot you existed. How many people did they let go to Mania that they fired a few days later? Well, you were at Mania though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like in a candid photo, I was on the ramp. Like, how the hell did Jinder Mahal not get fired? Yeah. What the hell has he done since he was champion like 3 years ago? At least it seems like 3 years ago. He still has a job.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying. Nothing against him. It just didn't make sense.
I believe another one of those ambassadors of some sort too. So you gotta keep that fan base happy.
Screw that fan base. Bring Grunge Singh back and just have him talk. Bring those idiots back that were with him. Those brothers. What are their names?
Brothers.
Yeah, bring the Singh brothers back. Bring what the hell? Have them be the ambassadors. They were actually entertaining and putting stuff together and didn't sound like they were talking out of their nose. Bring Daivari back. Daivari had great matches. Like, and they brought him back for the first show in Saudi and then just like bring Daivari back. Like, he was great. No offense to to Jinder.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, how the hell did Jinder get a title run? And he stayed there. Like, he went away, got a title run. Drew went away, came back, got a title run. Heath Slater was there the whole time. He just sat backstage until they fired him. And then after they fired him, they brought him back for 1 week to face Drew. And he was all like, look at me. I got kids. But I gained 30 pounds of muscle. Where the hell has that been? Heath? Like, what the? He looked great.
No, yeah.
No doubt. He get any title shot. Like, I'm sorry, he got the title shot. He got tag titles with Rhino.
Yeah.
Who's just did a live signing, virtual signing, actually. And I didn't get my title. I didn't send in to get this signed. I should have. There's a big spot right here where I could have had Rhino sign it off, but shipping. That would have been a cool, hey, look at this. Would have got you beat on that. You might have like the cool belt back there that spins. And yep, right there. See? You can see it's way easier on your tripod. I try to move my computer right now. That kickstand might just completely just say bye, y'all, and fall over, and then you'll be staring at the ceiling. And you'll probably hear profanity. In fact, you will definitely hear profanity. Lots of profanity. But overall, I thought it was a better one. They opened some stuff for some stuff, but it was a much better Raw than the Raw before and after Mania.
Yeah. So a couple random off the cuff facts real quick. Want to rattle them off. On this day back in 2016, we lost China. Bless her soul.
Did you know? Not to be like a complete sidebar. On this day, 5 years ago as well, Prince died. Not like the wrestler Prince, like Prince Albert. Not him, the actual musician Prince. Like, he died 5 years ago. I found that out on my bike ride earlier today. Hannah told me.
Nice.
I forgot that China died, and then we found out about Prince like an hour later, and then no one cared about Joni at all anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Like which was a damn shame.
Still should be in the Hall of Fame as herself, but
yes,
yeah,
she's deserving. But there was so much extracurricular.
Yeah. Another off the cuff fact. Speaking of Raw, Kane wrestled 436 times on Raw. That's 436 matches just on Raw. Amazing. That's a lot of. I mean, think about it. What was the 1000th anniversary like a couple years ago?
52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
I think all the times like he
wrestled almost half the amount of how many Raws.
He wrestled he wrestled more than a third of the Raws in existence, and he debuted well after it started, and That's
Exactly.
obnoxious. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's better. That's better than the Joni one. Like, because I still think she deserves.
Yeah.
If X-Pac got forgiven for his sins, and he
Yeah.
was involved in the sins that she did.
I think we'd have a different outcome. Um, Braun Strowman, I don't know if you remember the Greatest Royal Rumble where there was an actual title belt given to him. He has now held it for over more than 1,000 days as of like 3 days ago. The only time never change hands technically. If you want to get technical, never.
I mean, he should have given it to Titus. I mean, I've seen football players, basketball players, everyone take a dive. No one took a better dive than Titus O'Neil that night.
Yeah.
I mean, think if he was off by like 3 inches, Titus O'Neil would have snapped neck, shoulder, everything. Just
yeah.
Gone. Like, he made it. That guy deserves an award. But yeah, I did I forgot about that. That's kind of like Taz with the FTW title. Then they gave it to like Sabu, and Sabu was just pissed because it was like engraved Taz because it wasn't supposed to go anywhere. I think that it wasn't supposed to go anywhere. I think this is more like they just don't want to go back. They don't want to do anything with it, and they hoped everyone forgot.
I think I'm pretty sure he brought that back over on the other brand show. But you mentioned Pac. I didn't know if you knew, but 2 years ago, Sami Zayn had pitched an idea to wrestle X-Pac at SummerSlam of 2019. Unfortunately, X-Pac had some health issues, as we all know.
He's looking good lately.
Oh yeah, but he's in shape now.
He's looking good.
And I didn't know if you knew this, and I didn't know this either, but back in 2011 at the Rey de Valladolid's finals, Sami Zayn and 1-2-3 Kid actually wrestled. But he had
2000 and what? You say 11? 1-2-3 Kid.
Yeah. 1-2-3.
Like, he still owns the right.
Sammy was known then as El Generico.
But I'm not talking about that, but Sean owns the 1-2-3.
Well, if you think about it, he has the 1-2-3 podcast.
Well, yeah, but
so I'm
1-2-3 podcast and 1-2-3 Kid. I mean,
that he owns,
legally speaking, 1-2-3 and 1-2-3 Kid, according to Vince McMahon, are very different. That's actually kind of impressive if he does have it.
Yeah,
and that I think that he is much better off wrestling now. Yeah. Like, everything that he was dealing with, and like,
or maybe Pac repackaged. Maybe it wasn't 1-2-3 Kid, but that's where I got off the article.
Still though,
maybe
him going though. I think those two, like, with everything that they're doing now, like, I think they should just stop with KO because I think Kevin deserves better. Even though they could tear the house down, they're going to need something to help them.
Oh yeah.
At the next paper, like, they need those two to go and tear the house down. Like, Sean's in great shape. Whether we want to call him X-Pac 6, 1-2-3 Kid, whatever the hell you want to call him, Sean has cleaned himself up.
Oh yeah.
His podcast, he's got his studio go. Like, he is doing way better. Like, you could tell the difference between when he was there and like those Hall of Fames and now. Like, he is a completely 180 human being. And do I think he can still go? I'm pretty sure if he had to.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he still had that in when he was screwed up, let alone now when he's healthy and clean.
Oh,
like, that could be a hell of a match.
So last two random facts here. If anyone's remotely interested, for all those Blue Tista fans, will never ever wrestle again. Nothing will bring him back to the squared circle. Just throwing it out there.
I like how you just scribbled them off.
Yeah,
never, ever what? Die. Blue Tista just got murdered by Ink Stick.
Yeah.
Whatever we called them.
Your good old boy Gerald Briscoe, that you love to do your impersonations of, had successful knee replacement surgery yesterday.
Mr. McMahon. Yeah. I need one of those. Tell me where to do that, Gerald. I love him to death. And what he did, like, again, before the Stooges, like with the Stooges, since the Stooges, like with his brother, like, the Briscoe brothers. I mean, like, go back and watch him if you never did, because I mean he
Yeah.
was super like, and everyone just remembers the bumbling stooges walking around like in their police caps, looking like the village people in lingerie. I mean, like, but go back and watch the Briscoe brother, like watch
Oh yeah.
him before that, and the Stooges were still great. Look at all the violence and everything stupid that was happening in the Attitude
Oh,
Era, and somehow the Stooges, Patterson and Briscoe, welcome, yes sir, Mister McMahon, like all of that. Still, I want to see the Stooges. Why? Because
yeah.
this is just ridiculous, and like, so I'm happy for like, look how long he went without having like to get like, he's holding up well compared to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them are really, really bad. So if any of them are going like, I mean, it was the last time you heard him having anything wrong. So that's, I'm okay with that because he's really an old timer, and they were wrestling so much more back in their day, like, but every day, all day, every day, multiple times a day, different
Yep.
towns just beating the hell out of each other and their
Yep.
bodies. And if he held up this good,
Eat each other up, pack it up. Next
yeah,
venue within the same state, maybe 2 or 3 same territories within the same state. Like, yeah, they put it in, and for someone like him to only need a knee replacement now,
good for Gerald.
yeah,
Like he is held up very well to the annals of just getting. I mean, they got mauled back then,
oh yeah,
and especially if you're one of the big guys. I mean, look at all the bumps people like Flair took.
mm-hmm.
Like he took 60 million bumps, and then he'd hit the figure four and he'd go home. Like he wasn't like Hogan, where Hogan would, like drop a leg, go home. Like he had his thing. Most of the people in those territories got just beaten to death, and then they'd get the win, and they move on to the next town literally that day. I mean,
Yeah,
even some of them, when they stay there, they do 2 shows in one night, same place. I mean, like, so good for him to hold on for that long, because he's got to be old by now.
80s, I mean, I don't know if he's pushing 90s. I'd say at least mid 80s.
Yeah, like I know he's up. Like the last time I saw him, you could tell he's finally older, but he has aged very
Yeah.
well. His body is held up. I know he lost his brother a few years ago, but to see how well he's held up
Yeah,
compared to a lot of them, like, see, I didn't see about the knee. I would have been like, get it, fella. I've needed one since I was like 20. I'm 32 now. Been run over. Still need it. But that was a good one. But man,
yeah,
again, if you have not watched the Stooges stuff, please go. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go on YouTube. YouTube's always there. No matter what WWE wants you to see, they do not stop. The powers that be at YouTube from going, hey, really, watch this. They don't give up. And there's many other video services where you could just go and find it because they don't care. And Vince can't catch them all.
yeah.
And I'd say go watch the network, but they haven't gotten anywhere near fully uploading everything to the network on Peacock, which I think is a crying shame. If they're going to give them that much money and take it over, everything
Oh, yeah.
should have been on there that day.
No matter what, nothing edited, nothing whatsoever. Like, seriously,
Should have been not there. It shouldn't be waiting months and months.
I don't know if you noticed some of the stuff, but if it's anything that involves blood, it's in black and white. Why?
Didn't notice. I haven't been on there.
Yeah,
No, I'm happy I haven't been on there.
yeah.
That would
There's
piss me off.
some of the older stuff since the whole PG era. Some stuff is in black and white now, just because of that fact.
If I didn't want to not like, if I just wanted to be stupid and spend
I believe,
$60 for a pay-per-view every month,
Bret Hart and Austin match where Austin was busted open big time. Watch it. I'm pretty sure it's in black and white.
see, they showed so many highlights of that in black and white for years, though. Just like
Yeah.
Peacock's ruining it.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, I'm pulling out the picture and we're going to talk about that thing that we're not going to see on the network ever, because people's heads. Have you ever seen the movie Ready or Not?
Yes.
If they pulled a story like that off, the ending of that movie would be people that just gone. And by the way, I watched that movie and my jaw was on the floor at the end. Like it was all fake. Like, that would be people's heads if they pulled anything off of what is in that picture. Right there. Not right there, It's underneath two things in the stack, and it's right there. Right there. Like if they did that now, that'll never make the network. Like we should just go over stuff that'll never make the network.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing show. Think of the stuff ECW's off the table. I can't believe they had ECW Barely Legal was on there. I'd hate to watch Barely Legal because I can just imagine that whole New Jack thing. In fact, I should go and turn it on right now. Once we're done, just to see if it's on there.
By the way, Dark Side of the Ring, I believe it's May 6th. Not to throw a plug out there.
It's Pillman, right?
I believe so, yes.
He deserves it. His kid's all over the place doing all kinds of signings right now.
I know there's one with Warrior.
Ooh, that should be interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember all the other ones, but I did see something about Warrior.
He deserves one.
Mm-hmm.
Like that had to be like, and that was the worst story ever too. Like he made amends, and that last promo on Raw, literally 4 hours before he one day everyone's heart will beat their last beat, and they will take their last breath, and you die 8 hours later.
That was his eulogy.
That was creepy as hell.
Yeah, that scared the.
It was amazing, but that was creepy as hell. Like you started going, man, what? Glad he's back. Wake up the next morning, dead. Excuse me, what?
Excuse me.
You're talking about breathing your last breath and your heart beating its last beat, and you have a heart attack and dies 8 hours later.
Glad I feel that he was truly at peace when it happened because he made the amends. Can you imagine?
He made amends. What? 3 days? He truly made what? He went to the Hall of Fame. What? I guess Friday.
Yeah.
Or was it Saturday? Like that was still Saturday then, right? Like the night before.
Yeah.
Like he made amends and he died less than 3 days later.
Yeah.
Like full amends when they're like, they're talking over the phone about the Hall of Fame and all that.
Had a lot of backstage photos with him and Hulk.
Yeah. He went and he like cleared the air with everyone that night.
Yeah.
Like, but because it's a lot of phone calls leading up to all that stuff. Like, but and he's not going to see everybody, but he got his ring. He made amends with Vince, Hulk, like everybody.
Yeah.
Had his moment on Raw, which I wish his face was painted. He wasn't wearing that stupid mask. Like, especially as he died, it would have been so much. But at least he got to think if he just did that on some video and he didn't get to make it, like that was it on like his private channel. He got to do it on Raw after clearing the air after decades long. That was, it was good he got to do it after that, but that was creepy as just the timing. But I can't watch that promo anymore. If I start repeating it, my heart's probably going to beat its last beat. And I'm going to take my last breath. And I'm not ready to die yet. I've made amends and peace with the world, but I'd still like to be part of it. But he made it. That was one of the best. Like that promo was great. Never mind his speech. I can't tell you anything he said at the Hall of Fame.
One of my top 10 returns, because that's technically a return if you think about it.
Yeah, like he was gone for forever. Might have been the Hall of Fame in that one moment, but like he came and that was a never gonna happen. Go yourself kind of moment.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what? Oh, you own the rights? Cool. Well, I'll change my legal name to it. Now my name really is Warrior. Like steroid thing. Like he went out of his way to piss Vince off as much as humanly possible for a very long time.
Yeah.
And for them to get back together, come on, Phil, get over yourself. Before you die, don't die. If he didn't make amends, I wouldn't it still freaks me out, but at least knowing, like you said, that he got to clear the air with everyone because everyone that was at the Hall of Fame, then everyone that wasn't at the Hall of Fame, but was backstage at Mania because he was there that day for them to go out and, do the ring thing. And so him to get to do that, freaky that he died a day and a half later.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Especially 8 hours after he gave that promo. Like if that, maybe less than 12. Like his heart, like that's creepy as hell, but at least he got to do it. Like that's the ultimate, damn. Well, where's Ron Simmons when I need him? Too bad he's not so obscure that we could just say, hey, you want to be on the show? And he'll be all, yeah, I'm not doing anything else. Too bad those damn shirts are still selling. And I don't have the money to pay him. So unless you do.
No,
Damn. What if we wear his shirt? Maybe we could buy him then.
matching damn shirts.
Like
They're all yeah.
Like I'll buy the what you get royalties from the shirt. And how about I just buy like 10 of them? He'll buy 10, I buy 10, you get the royalties, everyone's happy. And then I have a lot of shirts that I'll never wear the rest of my life. And then I'll get you to sign them all and sell them for like $40 a pop because I'm a terrible human being. Or because I like the dollar. But yeah, glad he made peace. That was, man, like there's so many people that like Macho Man didn't get to.
Yeah.
Like he finally like reached out to Hulk, like days before he got into that accident in his Jeep and passed.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's freaky. Like the way that happens seems to all the time in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
They finally make amends, and then, well, they tragically are gone before they could actually do anything with it. But except for Hulk Hogan, everyone hates him and they keep bringing him back.
Yeah. And throwing him in pirate costumes.
Calling Titus O'Neil T and dog.
I'm going to tell my children that was Jack Sparrow.
Please don't. Please don't.
Still one of the funniest memes ever.
It was, but please don't.
Yeah.
Poor Johnny Depp's already suffered enough because of his crazy ex-wife accusing him of all kinds of stuff. Let's not go and take away Jack Sparrow from him. His ex-wife already did. But God, that was terrible. Why can't we just get rid of Hulk? He hasn't made amends with anybody. It's just Vince likes money. He thinks Hulk's going to bring him money. Except no one wanted to watch. No one wanted to see him.
Hulk Hogan owns his own surf shop, and the NWO shirts are the biggest seller.
He does. It's a surf shop, and Jimmy Hart's there all the time. And if you're on the Hood Vendors page on Facebook, there's people all the time posting of signings that they're doing there, and belts they're buying there.
What all I have to do is
NWO spray painted belts that they're buying there.
So all I have to do is just go to his Florida shop, and he'll just be there, and I can just go buy something. And
hey, Jimmy, sign it. Well, you're the mouth of the South. What? I'm just the mouth.
Just show up with a random bullhorn and be like, sign it.
I just sit there and what? Oh, you did it to me. Come about is fair play. You know what? Now you're old. I can squeak way better than you can, bro. But yeah, he's there all the time. They're doing signing. Like they're people getting stuff all the time from down there, or whatever, like Hogan's surf shop or whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah.
But he's got the belts up on the wall, like signed stuff. Like there's all kinds of signed stuff down there for sale. I guarantee you it's Hulk Hogan. So he's probably selling it for like, $1 million over market. Because, like he doesn't make, well, never mind. He got divorced. He lost all of his money.
Yeah.
Stupid soul. Stupid soul. With that being said, I figured we'd go extra today. We went really extra day, but that's because we have the change of schedule now because I'm a selfish human being.
And I got Wednesday, kids.
And hey, only Heath Slater's allowed to have kids. Damn it. But, I got trivia on Wednesdays. He's got kids. I'm going to buy, that's what you're getting. I'm going to yes, I'm going to get him. And I've got, never mind shirt for the show. I've got kids. He's getting a Heath Slater just for saying it from now on. You're stuck with it. I don't care if I have to buy you like 6 of them so you can have one every day of the week. And it's nice and so fresh and so clean. If they still sell them. It's Vince, so they probably don't. But I'm sure I can find it somewhere.
They could be on clearance.
I could just have the lady in my neighborhood make them for like $10 a piece.
There you go.
And just don't fully show it because then Vince can't sue anybody. But as we're switching, we're not doing Wednesdays because, again, he's got kids. And I got trivia. We're doing Thursday through Tuesday. Wednesday is the night off, so he can have kids. I just really want to go and just make people that like are at trivia and they're like, oh, and they're like all excited because they went to Yale. There's just something about this and the scrunchie and all that. Like, there's just something about me beating them that just, as much as this makes me like second wind, like hearing people brag because they went to Yale during trivia and then beating them. When I went nowhere, I've never been
Yeah.
near Yale. Pardon my French, but I've never been anywhere near Yale. I would fail horrifically. I would never get in. But me beating them, for some reason, puts a big smile on my face. A really big one. Really huge smile beating people from Yale that think they're better than everybody. There's just something about that. It puts a smile on my face, makes the world a better place. You know, the world will never be a better place. Too many stupid people. But
Agree.
But so now with that, we'll be back Thursday. But I think it's for the better. Then we get Sunday because there's no shows on Saturday, so we can go over like SmackDown on Saturday, and then get into something. But that gives us a whole entire Sunday where there isn't anything to talk about.
I still got some.
Because again, like Thursday, we could talk about NXT finally.
Yep.
And we could talk about some random stuff because we always go into it. Friday, we could preview SmackDown and go into random stuff. Saturday, talk about SmackDown, go into random stuff. Sunday, nothing. Like, that's just fully open because Monday, preview of Raw and random stuff. Tuesday, random Raw. Yeah, all like stuff about like it's just Sunday now gives us a perfect opportunity. Like, because Wednesday, if we did it, we'd have to talk about NXT and then we move into something and then we take off Sunday. This way, like, it gives us a whole time. I think a better day to sit down and talk. And Sunday is a historic wrestling day. Like, that's the pay-per-view day. So that could be our big, like crescendo. Look at me, get out of the way. We're not going to call it anything fancy because all the names are copyrighted, but threaten me to make some backgrounds. I want to get the big one, the big swinging things. Like, I want to go back to the really cool ones for Backlash and all those old pay-per-views, but we'll never get there. Yeah. But yeah, with that, like, I think it'll be a really good thing. So I'm glad that I'm glad I had the idea. You agreed. We talked about it. Like, it works out best for everybody. Gives us all night to recharge. Gives us just, especially Saturday, like weekends, we could, or Sunday mornings, like we could do whatever we have to do, and we could watch something like an original one night stand, or hours and hours of promos to really sit down and get deep into something, which I think is irreplaceable, just having that time. So we're not worried about as like just terrible as some of the shows are. So I like the idea. Yeah. I think it works out better. I'm not doing anything on Sunday.
Yeah.
Top 10 watching.
Top 10 Sunday.
I'm just watching all my favorite racers lose and my money vanish away from me. Like, I can't even win in free contests anymore. I'm bad. So this will be a good thing. But I think it'll be really, really good. I think people will enjoy it. From the numbers that I've seen, you haven't seen them because you don't have the anchor thing, but the account. But numbers, like, people are really, really
good
getting behind it. Minus just like you, me, Dan. Like, there's people like on YouTube that are even like, I mean, they're throwing comments out in like Japanese, so I can't read the damn things. But hey, comments are comments, and the amount of people I'm seeing are getting well beyond like my friends and your friends, which means it's getting farther out there. Like, this is Facebook stuff, so it, like, people really have to be looking to find it there.
Yeah,
like personally, like it's getting out there. So I think Sunday will be a really good day for us. I like the way it's going. I like how things are going. Rambling is fun. Top 10 Sundays is great. Or just, again, individual matches. Like, think if we just talked about that last TLC match at WrestleMania X7, I think it was, in the Astrodomes. We could talk for over an hour about that. Like, just all the bumps, all the hits, all the people that came out to the ring, like Spike being a high school math teacher out there doing, like, putting people through tables and getting speared and like ripped incoherently, or all the times he got crowd surfed around the ECW arena.
Yeah.
We can talk about that for an hour, but like, I think it'll be really good for us. Yeah, I just rambled for like 10 minutes. If you want to say anything, I'll shut up.
No, it's been fun, and I want to keep doing it. It's refreshing. It's gets my mind off of other things, and I think it gives something for the people.
And according to the numbers, again, like I see them,
blows my mind because, like, I never thought we'd be doing this and getting reactions, which is great.
Think we laughed about it in Iraq.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when we first talked about it.
And here we are, 12 years later. Who is the joke on now? Joke's on you. What? We were right. Where's James P. Hill when I need him? So I can laugh at him too. Just because he never liked me. It's okay. I never liked him either. But I enjoy it. So
Yep.
now that we have tomorrow off, which is just weird because I normally never have days off, but
yeah.
Great idea. Sunday sit down. For all the people listening to this.
Sunday sit down.
All of you watching right now in the stratosphere, the Thunderdome, whatever the hell you want to call the damn thing. My peace and quiet, my happy place. Sunday sit down. If we sit down on my other show, then we could just go through you and me and us so people can like fully like understand on the talking show. As we have top 10, like there's more to talk about the rest, like we have lots of wrestling, but we can sit down on the Jesse Rosinski show. And we could do my first Sunday sit down and we could just talk about us and how we came to be, how we met each other. We can just talk about everything so people have a better understanding of us. Like this is cross promotion, which Vince will never do. But I am more for the people than Vince will ever be. I believe in people power. I tried to sound more like Vince than Laurinaitis, but you know, is screw Johnny. He's stupid. But we could do that. What do you think? Like, sit down, just give the whole story. Yeah. Or we could do Sunday's special episode on this, on us. We could do a sit down talk and like our listening base. Like I could do it for both shows. Like I could just put it on both. Like, here you go. Here's the guy I'm always talking with. Here's how we came to be. Here's how long we knew each other. Here's all the really dumb stuff and bad stuff we went through in Iraq. Yeah, I could even bring in Chuck just so you can tell him to shut up and I can hang up on him.
That'd be fun.
It would be. And that's a real smile. That would be fun. Shut up. But yeah, we could do that on Sunday. I think that's a good idea. We've been talking for what, a week and a half now? About like WrestleMania weekend. So we're a week and a half.
Yeah.
Started Saturday. Started WrestleMania Saturday. So a week and a half we've been doing it. I like we can give people the story of it. So they know where the hell we even came from, and you and your spinner belt. And weren't you driving like a Tiburon? No, you're driving something. I don't remember your car at that point. I know you.
No, it was a Tiburon.
Yeah, Tiburon turning me on to great bands like Skillet and Hollywood Undead because apparently I was deaf and I missed it. But see, like this goes like the stuff I still remember when I don't even know why. Like half the time I stand up, I still remember.
Probably remember more stuff than I do, or I might. It just depends on what it. Yeah.
We can go over all. That'll be Sunday.
Yeah.
I guarantee nothing on how long it'll be. It'll probably be forever. Jackson will be excited too, just because there he was, and you know what? He deserves a shout out because he is there and he has been very well behaved and really, really good for like 2 hours.
Yeah, he actually comes down and turns lights on, knows which lights need to be turned on, and are you gonna go do a podcast, Dad, with Ski? I'm like, yes, I am.
I respect that. Love that kid. That's my dude right there. So he deserves a hello as he was there. Just because he walked by, but yeah, that'll be Sunday. Tomorrow we're off. Thursday, we'll give our reaction to NXT. And what do you want to do Thursday? Or do you want to surprise everybody?
I'll probably have some random notes by then. I always do.
Me too. I get yelled at a lot throughout the
day. I just call it off the cuff.
So we could do NXT off the cuff. It's not even sidebar because it's not sidebar to the stories. We will do NXT and off the cuff randomness from that man's brain because it functions better than mine does.
When it wants to.
That was a beautiful sound. The first sound effect coming from the kid. When it wants to. Doodle-doo. Thank you. Yes, so much better than Daisy whining the other day. But I enjoyed it. It was a good talk. I mean, this went way longer than we thought it was going to. We mostly talked about Raw. Like we killed over an hour talking about Raw. before we got to anything else. Granted, there was 5 minutes of nonsense beforehand, but it was a
Yeah.
good one. I enjoyed today. It was a good one.
Yes, sir.
You should do it. You should do it again sometime. Like Thursday. How about we do it then? I'm game. You're game. I'm Ski.
I'm Justin.
And man, I hope you enjoyed it because I did.
Me
See
too.
y'all on Thursday. Peace.